a way of what? Exercising the body, moving their system in order to get it active. You don't want to wait till that end. So with that experience, I feel that it doesn't really matter how tired I am. It doesn't really matter how, the day goes. I feel that I have to get my body active, relax in a certain way, so that at the end of the day, I feel that health is wealth. Once my body is well, of course, I can look up to the next day.
Fantastic stuff. I mean, for a lot of us, we need to learn a lot from you. This guy, Abeku Sankofi, the other day I took him to a gym. He's like, where are we? He was lost. Anyway, for those who are hearing about it for the very first time, how do you describe the National Recreation and Wellness Program in very relatable terms? So the likes of Evans Amewuga, who is always going to buy banku and tilapia and coming to sit here to give me a lot of stress. How do you explain it to them? I mean, what is the National Recreation and Wellness Program all about?
Okay, to start with, I'm sure we are all very much aware of how the Ministry of Sports and Youth and Sports used to be. I mean, it was Youth and Sports initially, until in the wisdom of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama felt that there was another aspect of sports that was not being taken so seriously. As a people, we didn't inculcate the habit of active life. And so he felt that generally when we talk of sports, we know that it embodies the youth, because a lot of the young people are into sporting activities. And so the focus was on elite sports, or better still, professional sports. And so how do we get the general public, every Ghanaian, irrespective of being a young person, old, children, disabled or what have you, to live or to stay active? And so he decided to divide this very important sector, having given the youth component on its own speciality and its own attention, while sports is also given the same different attention. And so in his wisdom, he felt that sports, should be focusing on possibly the elite sports and the competitive sports, whilst the recreation takes care of our everyday active life. The whole focus is more on preventive, per the data that we have available. We know that about 45% of non-communicable diseases, that is death that are caused in this country, that are recorded by the Ghana Health Services, are caused by non-communicable diseases. And so this is preventable. These are, diseases that are caused by our lifestyle. And so if we find a way of addressing this non-communicable diseases, then of course we'll be reducing the health bill, giving Ghanaians the opportunity to live well, as well as improving on our performances in general. So I think that is an area that the president is really thinking about the well-being of Ghanaians in general. And I personally, as a person, I want to applaud the president for this wisdom and this initiative, because of course, if we are not able to be in our best, if we are not healthy, then of course performances, generally you'll be at the mercy of healthcare, where people go to the hospital and they'll tell you, oh, there are no beds, oh, people are suffering, people are sick, you don't even have the money to go to the hospital. But all you need to do as a measure of prevention is to keep active, keep going, live a very simple lifestyle, check your diet, go to the hospital and check your body system regularly, and then of course you are free to go. There are some diseases, of course, are not preventable, that we can invest our resources in general. But the ones that are caused as a result of our lifestyle, if there's something that we can easily work with or handle, why don't we all come together as a people and focus on it for the betterment of the country as a people? And I think that I can easily relate, as I mentioned to you earlier on. I have experienced it within my family. I've seen friends, and I believe that it's a subject that we should all have a conversation around. You see a lot of our corporate organizations, time in, time out, they try to organize something like that, but we haven't been very consistent about it. It's once in a while showcase. Sometimes we just go for it for the fun of it, without really looking at the benefits we derive from such activities. So generally, I think we should all begin this conversation, bring everybody, the young, the old, the able, the disabled, and whoever that matters. Let's all of us have this conversation so that at the end of the day we can have a very really healthy and active society that we can all be very proud of. Yeah,
absolutely. I don't know how old Wanda is, but growing up, Kwabena Yeboah's sports highlights always used to start with keep fit clubs. You see the people running and walking and all of that. But these days, all you see is people walking up the Ibri mountain. Now when they get to the top, they go into fufu and drink beer. So it shows you that there's quite a big gap with regards to recreation and wellness that you are looking to address with what you are looking to coordinate across the country. Is this going to be covered by a certain policy sheet, or perhaps it's just going to be an initiative that will be informal throughout its implementation?
Not at all, my brother. As I earlier on stated, it is actually the flagship program of His Excellency. If you had listened to the 2026 budget, you realize again a budgetary allocation provision has been made for it, as well as the focus of creating an agency that is having the necessary legal backing for it to come to stay. Those of us who have had the opportunity to travel outside the country, we have a colleague back in the office who is always sharing the experience of Cuba, where people don't necessarily need to be told. They feel that it's part of their everyday life. They need to get up. Sometimes they go to work, after work they have their backpacks behind them and they are just walking, they are stretching. I traveled to Morocco, where they have a street gym. So along the line, when you're there, you feel like lifting something, you feel like, riding a bicycle, just so you can keep the system and the heart, beating, the legs moving and what have you. So it's not just going to be a one-day show. It's going to be implemented across the country. We're going to have regional representatives. We are going to have district representatives. At the end of the day, we are also in talk with the Ministry of Health with a focus of actually identifying or identifying a day once in every month as the National Recreation Day, where the Ministry of Health is also going to support with free screening. So anybody who participates generally in the health, fitness walk, you get the benefit of free health screening. At least we're doing sugar, we're doing your BP, we're doing a few other things that you're able to check your system. Where there's the need for you to go and seek for advanced medical care, then you do that. So it's something that is not going to be a day, or it's not even going to be focused on the urban areas, but it's going to go across the country, because when you cast your mind and your eyes around, you see that these are experiences that everybody can relate with. And if we identify it as a national challenge, then the issue should be addressed holistically and as a nation.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, I want us to shift a little bit from the health side of it to the economic side of it, because at the end of the day, ultimately, it all culminates in us having an environment or an economy that would thrive and benefit all of us, because that's exactly the mandate that each and every parastatal has been given to contribute to. Now, a lot of people underestimate the economic value of wellness. But how do you explain your outfit's contribution to the economy from that angle?
So we believe sincerely that every is it $3 that is contributed towards cure in general. If we take our time and invest just $1 in wellness, of course, then we have saved $2 in general. And so yes, it will go a long way to build the economy. Again, don't forget that I mentioned that it has the tendency of also improving on performances. Today, if we are not well, what will bring us here today? You will definitely not be here, and it means that performances will go down. And so generally, it will have some economic impact. Then, notwithstanding, we also believe that it has the tendency of also reducing the health bill.
Mm.
If you had listened to the 2016 budget reading.
2026, you
Yes, 2026 budget reading that was done just a couple of a week ago. The amount of money that the government allocated or the minister allocated to health was so huge. Even with regards to Mahama Care, that is the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, alone is about 300 million.
Yeah, I think the health, about 4% of the total budget allocation was for health.
And so just think about it. We are focusing on cure when we could be focusing on preventive. And so we believe that it has on a larger scale, it has a way of impacting economically on the country as a whole. And so it's an area that we shouldn't relent. In terms of government, in terms of the private corporations, we shouldn't relent at all. It is an agenda. I think we should all embrace it. We should all come together and see how together we can put our resources, in fact, a percentage of our resources, in seeing to it that generally Ghanaians live well, Ghanaians live healthy, so they can, of course, impact on our economy positively.
Absolutely. I mean, a key core of our economy is the private sector, which you just mentioned, and we have a lot of very good private sector friends that listen to us. I mean, for the kind of initiative that you are embarking on, I believe you don't want it to be fully funded by the states, because the private sector will ultimately benefit from it a lot more. I mean, what would be your rallying call to organizations within the corporate spectrum who would want to come and be a part of this groundbreaking, life-changing, transformational initiative that you are championing?
So currently we have started a number of stakeholder engagement. We are focusing on not just government institutions, we're focusing on private corporations as well. With regards to the government institutions, we have visited the various security agencies because we want them to be our direct partners, where we believe that once upon a time, all the security services could come together and provide some sort of sporting activities to keep the system vibrant and active. We don't want it to just be the security services. They have their families. They have their retired officers. How do we collaborate with them so that such programs could invite all this number of people together and should be organized on a regular basis to keep that spectrum of people very active. Not only that, like I said, we are also collaborating with the Ministry of Health to provide some free health screening as well. Other, private agencies, the focus with the private agency is that we have observed an opportunity where normally this corporate organization usually organize once a while recreational events. We are working in collaboration with the National Sports Authority, that's the NSA. And they are the regulators of all the federations. And so we don't want a situation where a corporate organization will be organizing recreational and wellness events. You get probably an instructor who possibly is not a professional, and so at the end of your exercises, one goes and he thinks, oh, because the right thing wasn't done. And so we want to collaborate with these institutions so that when such programs are being organized, we are brought on board to give you the needed expertise as well as the right equipment to measure and make sure that people are given the benefit of what they actually deserve. And it shouldn't be just once a year program. We want to coordinate it such a way that at least apart from the once a month national recreational program, as and when the organization deems fit. And we're going to have the necessary orientation with this stakeholders so that at least we'll see how we are able to properly regulate some of these activities to just boost the health of the people, as well as we believe that in the end it will go a long way to boost performances within their workplaces. Yes, so conversations are far advanced. We are also focusing on developing a number of community recreational centers, which, like you rightly said, the ministry or government cannot take it on. If you read our budgetary allocation, sometimes it's funny because you see that when it comes to community recreational centers, this is a key thing. Because I remember when we had our teaser at Manchagbona and the minister did make mention of it, everybody went very excited because it's something that we are generally lacking. Most often, like you rightly said, either people are walking on the way to the Bree Mountains and after that they get their bowl of fufu. And the common one is the insefu.
Oh, Charlie.
The palm wine.
And now you see, I think the people I don't know who sent them. They are very strategically positioned. When you finish the work and you are coming back,
you get it.
Oh,
you get it. And so if we are able to cultivate this community recreational facilities, then what is going to happen is that we're going to regulate it. We know the things that you can bring around that area, the things that you cannot necessarily sell, promoting healthy diets, things that are good for your immune system, so that of course you stay sane, you stay healthy, and then you stay well. So these are things that the government on its own cannot do. Of course, we are working in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government and the chiefs as well, the traditional chiefs. So if a piece of land is allocated for recreation, we definitely will need the private corporations to come in, support us, and see how best we can harness plants, trees, grasses, and some comfortable seats. Possibly even develop some tracks around so that people can easily run around instead of putting them at the risk of running around our streets, which do not necessarily have walkways for them to be safe. So yes, the conversation is broad, the conversation is huge, but I am very excited that we are here at SportyFM today to have this conversation. Those of our corporate brothers and sisters who are listening to us, it's an opportunity for all of us to tap in so that we don't leave it, because government definitely has good intentions for all of us, for our well-being, for our active life, for our performance, and at the end of the day, for the taxpayers' money to be utilized properly. And so it's about time we all also we bought into this very important idea to see how best we can really move it forward for the benefit of everyone.
Let's stay with the corporate partners, and a lot of them are very commercially oriented, right? Are there commercial opportunities within the program for private partners in areas like facility development, like fitness technology, event sponsorship, and wellness products? Are there commercial opportunities in there? Because, these will not just stoke certain sparks of development, but they will give people jobs, and it would get people more motivated to be a part of what you're doing.
Absolutely. My brother, when we talk about the commercial benefits, of course, when we organize such recreational activities, the numbers, the tendency of giving them the needed publicity. I think when it comes to the commercialization of such projects, publicity is huge. If we come to sit on your platform and we mention, of course, let me even use this opportunity to cite an example of one of our partners, that is Trillion Ghana Limited, producers of Vena Water.
Please tell them free advert on SportyFM. Ali, you know what to do. Ali is my friend. So
they have always, in fact, so far, we have been able to initiate 2 programs. We had one at Manchagbona, and they were present to provide us free drinking water and some refreshment as well. We also participated in the Hogbe Chocho in the Anglo State, of which they also came on board and supported. I think that the publicity, and like I'm sitting here, I'm very proud and happy to mention them as our partners. And not only that, if an organization wants to support in the development of a recreational, community recreational center, of course, the tendency of also having the opportunity to display their products and then to market it is also there. So it comes with a number of opportunities. You will be surprised that at the lunch, the president comes there and say, oh, the best drink or the best way to do something is by using your product. Again, we are currently, in fact, this is a very new product, as you already are aware. And so even though plans are advanced, there are certain initiatives that are also going in. We are currently developing a software program where people are given the opportunity to go online, assess their health status. You are directed in what optional activity you can undertake, whether to do press-ups, whether to do sit-up, whether to go for a run, whether to go for a walk. Those options are there. Sometimes on the same platform, you're going to have live doctors coming on board to have a conversation with you in terms of your wellness. And that platform gives commercial kind of value. People who sponsor us the opportunity to also advertise, because we believe strongly that we're going to have thousands of people patronizing that platform. And so there are going to be competitions where sometimes the president is able to walk a certain number of steps, and then the challenge is thrown out there that who can beat the president. It's on the app, And so when you decide to take up that challenge, the owner at the end of the winner at the end of the day stands to benefit in terms of whatever product at the time we have available. So it exposes those products, those sponsors to the rest of the world. We also have the opportunity of also registering the various gym centers within our communities across the country. So for instance, somebody travels to my constituency in Afram Plains and was looking for a nearby gym center. You go on the NAWEB app, and then it can easily direct you to. And so it gives you that platform. You're able to showcase your product. Not only that, we are also targeting and focusing on a number of social issues. We're talking about sanitation issues. We're talking about how to eliminate galamsey in general. Those are educative programs that will also be on the app. So whilst you are focusing on your well-being, your healthy status, you are also learning, getting additional information in generally concerning general issues that are of interest to us as a people.
That's absolutely fantastic. Now, if you could leave one lasting legacy through this program, where people will come and say, listen, Honorable Dr. Betty Krosbi Mensah was the one who was the very first coordinator of this life-changing initiative, what legacy would that be?
Yes, because that's a very interesting one. When I sit back and I look at it and I compare, it will not just be one of legacy. I want to see a very active community. I want to see a community where people are aware of the benefit of staying active. Because it looks like it's something that we take them for granted. We are very comfortable. Sunday, weekend, we are okay. But we're not aware of the benefits we derive from keeping active. That will save us a lot of money. It will take us from the hospital bed, and then it will also keep us going. Other countries are doing it. Again, I want to see a community where we have access to community recreational centers. You travel to the world and they are there. I mean, it's easy when you want to take a walk with your family, you want to go for a picnic. It's very easy. You identify a soft, nice, shady area. You can sit down, have a very comfortable time with your family. Not where all our lands have been commercialized. Buildings have been put up everywhere. We don't have an easy place for our children to go out there and play. I think those are issues of concern that left to me alone, I want to see a lot of people, benefit out of. So yes, these are the major areas that I am looking at, that we have very visible, not too far. Probably even after every 10 kilometers, we should have a national, a community recreational center that people can easily access. And then people being aware of the purposes or the benefits of staying active. At the end of the day, if I wake up in the morning and I see people, everybody being obviously aware and trying to keep fit, and then finally being able to reduce non-communicable diseases. I think, was it yesterday, I listened to a statement where about 25% of the national health insurance bill is being paid to take care of non-communicable diseases. So if that bill can be reduced to maybe even 10%, I think I should be very proud of myself that yes, we started the program and the result has been very great.
Absolutely. We've been having a conversation with Honorable Dr. Betty Krosbi Mensah. She is the National Coordinator, National Recreation and Wellness Program, NARWP. We'll find a way to pronounce that. NARWP. Okay, NARWP. Yeah. We'll find a way to. We'll call it NARWP. And it's been an enthralling one. It's not been a very long one. I think one day we should sit her down for a much longer conversation. But here at SportyFM, we'd be more than happy to support this initiative, because we believe it is one that will make a difference. I'd like to say a very big thank you to you for joining us right here on SportyFM. And then to all of you that listened in on the Sporty Drive, I'd like to say a big thank you to you as well. And thank you to Wanda as well, who left the studio and just returned. You went to talk to some girl on the phone. I don't know which girl it is.
All right.
And thank